Tá assim que agora tá live. Agora tá
Tá
live.
live? É um live? Não sabia.
Isso.
Achei que era só no dia 2.
Agora tá um live. Bom dia, good morning. How are you?
Bom dia!
Good morning, Christy. How are you doing?
Well, how are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. I know that, after all this energy that you get through, the technique, Sylvester technique, coming rushing to get to alive. And we are in the Facebook and we are on the YouTube right now. And good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm here with the Christy Willison and Cassia, who, on February 2nd is really giving us a huge gift, a gift of, one more confirmation how the Sylvester technique can really impact in so many ways, so many people. So, Christy and Cassia, I would like you to introduce yourselves and also to let us know what's going to happen on February 2nd.
All right, I'm going to introduce myself first.
Okay.
I'm Cassia. The way you see here reading in your screen is the way you say it, you pronounce. It's also the energy that I feel I carry with me. So on February 2nd, we will be hosting this wonderful event with Aninha and the Samba Congress. And our goal for this event is basically share a little bit our history and also our connection with the Sylvester technique and our art process. During the event, we're going to be sharing a film I created. It's called Tides of Passage. And I invited Christy Williamson, which is my muse and my dear friend. It's a person that I always look for after always to receive from her the beautiful dance that she carries with her, and also, of course, her essence. So I invited Christy to participate, and I gave her a score, and I will tell you guys later in the day of the event. But basically, this is the dance that happens in a place where I collect the objects that I create, the necklaces that will be in the auction in the February 2nd. This auction will be silent, and you guys will host that. And it's a beautiful piece made out of driftwood and eucalyptus shells. And this is a medicinal necklace that it really carries the power of terpenes, which is medicines of the plants that you can drop inside of the shells. So this necklace is a very, very powerful magical ally for us, and I'm really happy that I'm able to share and offer that for the fundraising for the Casa Silvestre, which I really, really believe that will be for the benefit of all beings in this world.
Cassia, where are you? Where you here in the United States? Where?
I'm here in California, in New Valley.
Oh, great. Hi, Christy, and how you get involved with all this, Sylvester technique and dance, and how was that?
Oh, well, I'm actually right now on the East Coast of America in Maine, but I am based in the same town as Kessia. And I was drawn out to California first by a woman named Anna Halprin, and she's a dance movement pioneer, improvisational artist, elder. And while I was out there learning from her, I discovered Rosangela Silvestri, and that was about a decade ago. So I've got to dive deeply into her work, and it's just an incredible art form that incorporates so much knowledge of the body and spirituality, elemental, symbology. And this particular collaboration with Kessia I see it as a bit of an integration of the work that we've explored both with Anna Halprin in scoring, using scores to create a piece, and then really working elementally and symbolically with the environment from Silvestre.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Kessia is always an inspiration for me as well. We've been dancing together for about 5 years now, and it's always just an honor, such a deep honor. And I feel she brings such deep intention and
Mm-hmm.
wisdom, and a big message to all that she creates. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like this is going to be one of those messages.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Mm.
That's beautiful. How do you think that people can benefit from the Sylvester technique? Because for a long time, we have those, some people say, oh, no, no, I'm not a dancer. Or, oh, no, no, it's only for people, with some type of advancement in dance or something. What is your idea about how people can benefit from um, the technique, even if they are not dancers?
Can I respond that from not
Yes.
a dancer? So when I arrived in the Sylvester technique 5 years ago, Christy was a beautiful trained dancer. This is why I inspired so much from her. She was always in front of the class.
Mm-hmm.
I was always in the back, and I was
But it was like in present. Was it?
in present.
Was like okay.
At OTC in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Basically, I came with no body training at all, just a little bit of yoga training. And I have like all kinds of challenges in my body. I started with 30 years old. My body has a hypermobility and all of those things. And I also was challenged by choreography and having to create, that dance and have a sequence. So what I experienced in these 5 years was an extremely an extension of my body, the strength that it gave to me. I also reflected on my mind. And the discipline that Sylvester technique brings is a real discipline, is a yogic discipline.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Yoruba discipline. It is a Zen discipline. It's all of it together.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in dance and movement at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
The vestry technique and the form, which is beyond the form, it's actually the container where we are able to experience the elements in our body, understand the elements of nature, the fire, the water, the air, the earth, and the space. And from it, we create a vocabulary to tell our stories. So this is very, very powerful technique, and each individual, in whatever stage you are, in whatever age, is a very welcoming technique. During the pandemic times, we've been dancing since the beginning of the pandemic on our screens, which we call the windows we open. And we've been receiving so much love and generosity from this community that, I cry almost every day just to see everyone and how much everyone is growing and embracing each other. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much, Rosangela, Vera, Deku, Vanessa, and everyone that is really participating, in this technique. I'm sorry for the names. I was not expecting. But thank you so much for all of you sharing that.
That's a good thing. So, and about you, Christy, what do you think? How this benefit people? Because just sometimes, we like something, and we want to share with people, but people's like, oh, I don't think this is for me.
This dance is a very soulful experience. It does feel like it holds a yogic quality in that you're working with visualizations, you're working with the elements, with ideas of the past, the future, the present. It's helping us to come into this present moment and access our body in a very refined and yet really accessible way that you can just use into your daily life. I feel like it's one of the most like well-rounded and embodied dance experiences that I've encountered. And it's a similar experience. Like I will get emotional so often, by experiencing a teacher or a share from one of the community members, because it's working. It feels like it's not just working on a topical level. It's not just working, a physical level. It penetrates deep within. It does carry the ancestry and the lineage, orishas, and that's a part of it. But there's also just this simplicity of elemental peace that's deeply, deeply humbling and speaks to the core essence of who we are, as these elemental creatures. Yeah.
It's amazing. So a movie, a film, a video that is created based on those impact, and that's like the influences of the technique. How Katia, you came to this idea of putting, your expression through a video, expressing your experience with the technique through a video. How that was, how you created that? What was your inspiration for that?
Well, basically, I've been working with videos as a way of, first of all, it started watching myself and having a dynamic of myself witnessing and also other people witnessing. It was my husband and then later a friend. And then I started seeing my body and really having reflection over it and say like, well, I do need to get stronger. I do need to move my body with more consciousness. So this was 10 years ago. And this started developing with finding the technique 5 years ago, which brought a lot of dance and expression of like moving with the elements of nature. So basically, I never really move with a music or song. I'm just finding in that moment the expression of the dance. And then it developed a little bit more when I started working with Anna Halprin, with Christy as well. The same, we part of her lab where she give to us the space and also the technique of scoring, which basically is not a choreography. It's really deeply understanding what is the theme you want to present, just creating like a narrative, like a song, a music. You can write your score and you can give to other people, or you can perform yourself. And everyone will have its own dance, its own expression. So basically what I use in this video, I was very inspired by this immersive walks in this particular location where you normally have the water covering the entire space. Again, when the moon is a new moon or full moon, you have the low tides where everything that's underneath it shows. And it's in hospital space, but it's really beautiful at the same time. And I do feel connected with this expression of deep emotions that I want to understand and give a language. And sometimes it doesn't have a word. So I start collecting the objects, and it inspired me, the driftwood, to write a score. And I invited Christy and another friend, which is the photographer, to participate in the score. Both Christy, myself, and the photographer was part of that score to tell the story of driftwood. So this is my inspiration. And how Silvestre comes, Silvestre is embody everything. Silvestre is in the action of myself being able to connect with that environment, and Christy dance with that environment, being challenged by the environment. And the Silvestre is promoting that space for us to practice every day, to meet with whatever that is in us at the moment.
And Uh, um, and okay, so it seems to me that both of you are saying that it is kind of your body, your mind, and your soul kind of evolving into this. It's not about the technique, but it's about, you. It's about how you take this and you can transform your life, and you can really connect with other things that happen to your life. Yeah, for example, on a helping technique, and Christy meeting the Rosangela Silvestre and the technique, you, Cassia, you know, re- realizing that you need to do something with your body. And from there, wow, now we have a 12 minutes video that it is like, like the expression, yeah, of how you guys feel about this. So, it's like I don't practice the technique, but I love the technique. It's not that I will be taking, I wish one day I can just jump in and immerse myself to that. But I'm hearing you, Christy, say it 10 years ago, and you say, Cassia, 5 years ago. So it seems to me that it's a lifelong practice.
Exactly.
Is that?
Yeah. It's our community. It's our son.
And how do you feel about that, Christy? Do you have an urge of like, I want to be a technique teacher, or no? It's just
She
like,
is.
well,
She is a technique teacher, actually. I'm gonna tell you that.
Honestly, I don't know where it's headed. I just feel such deep integrity in the work.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it feels like it's something that has solid ground that you're constantly building upon, and the dimensionality of it expands, right? Like we gain this body awareness,
Mm-hmm.
consciousness, and this begins to expand, into the expressive, experience, and our relationship to all of life. And I think when you feel that integrity inside of something, it gives you permission to really invest and to know
Mm-hmm.
that it is a lifelong process, that it's
Mm-hmm.
a journey, and there's no end. There's no end in sight.
Okay.
Work in progress.
Thankfully, there's no end.
Yes, that's a great thing. That's a great thing. And I have a video over here of the piece, Cassia, that you be the auction, yeah, the item for the auction. Okay, and Fernandinha, eu quero mostrar o cordão, e aí a gente vai pedir a Cassia para descrever. Pode mostrar agora, Fernanda? Oh, beautiful. Oh, wow, this is amazing. E esse eu quero. I want it. This is so beautiful.
Mas quem sabe você não vai ser a Felizarda.
Pois é. E se chama Mãe D'agua. It's called Mãe D'agua.
Mãe D'agua. Enfim, como vocês veem, ela tem um objeto, né? Uma forma frontal. E ela se levanta por si só, né? Ela é uma escultura.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's like a sculptural form, and she stands by herself. She's the mother, and she's carrying a lot behind her. And she carries something in her belly. She has a sinuous form, and this form was found exactly like this when I collected in the environment, in the beach where we performed. And
Is this like a pine or
this is called eucalyptus.
eucalyptus? Okay.
Eucalyptus gum pods. So basically, these shells are dropped in the floor when the flower of the eucalyptus comes out.
Oh,
This
wow.
shell that comes out, and I start collecting them on my walks, and it's just like it become a practice for me. It is a meditation practice, and I include, each of these shells in every necklace from this collection because they carry the terpenes of nature, which is the voice of the plants. And with the necklace is not only the necklace that comes, but that is a kit that it presents and educates you to understand what is the terpenes. You have an essential oil of the eucalyptus plant, the gum plant. You can drop inside of the shell, and it's extremely powerful antiviral compound that is tested. It's something that I'm talking about, but you can check on their website and see that it's antiviral. Just breathing it helps you to boost your immune system.
Wow.
I'm not selling anything, but this is what it is. And you drop it every time when you go out. And I imagine you have an invisible shield around of you that is protective against virus.
Oh, that's amazing.
Really a channeling from nature that I'm receiving, and I'm really honored to receive that. It's a medicine for all of you. It's more available on the website too, but this one is very special. Mother of water, mother of all. And
That's
also, for what you mentioned, that is also in the end, it's a magnetic closure with gold leaf, and the closure. And you have gold leaf also in the piece. It's foiled. So it's like a magnetic closure.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. That's so nice.
Yeah, it's really.
Wow, that's so nice.
This one's a simple one.
That's good. Christy, how was for you to be in the movie? I watched it and I thought that was so beautiful, that contact with the water and everything. How was that? How was that for you? Los Angeles here.
Yeah, it was just a complete honor and gift. I actually had a baby about 6 months prior to when we filmed, and had been really pining to reconnect with dance, but had to kind of take it slowly, for the healing of the body. And Kessia asked me to do this. I just felt the energy of, moving near the ocean, Yamanja, the mother, and it just felt right. It really felt right to participate. And it was really quite open. She basically gave me a bit of a narrative around the driftwood and a bit of imagery of all the possibilities, that a piece of driftwood could take in its lifetime. And then had images for me of the different locations that she imagined my body moving as driftwood. But she wasn't actually on the site when I arrived. It was just me and the filmmaker, and we just had a short window of time. So we were looking at our iPhones and trying to find the location of the picture, and then on the beach, and then with the videographer. And it was, at first, it was a little clunky, like trying to figure out how to move as this element of wood, on a very rugged terrain. This beach, as she said, is generally underwater. So it was jagged rocks and barnacles and sharp pieces of wood. And, it was a rough environment. And I found myself, just challenged by that at first, but slowly allowing myself to open, and respond to the elements, to the wind, to the crashing sound of the waves, to that jagged, cold rock on my hand. And slowly I felt like it began carving away my idea of how I wanted to move, or the resistances I held. So by the end, it really felt quite alive, the essence of perhaps this driftwood.
Hi, Joanna Romero is over here. So, wow, what a beautiful way of integrating, yeah. There's a space that the Sylvester technique holds, yeah, for everybody, because it's gives a sense of direction. You get to a place where you need to be guided by this, images in your cell phone. But as you allow yourself to get into it, things start.
You get lost to find it.
Yes, that's really amazing and beautiful. Christy, you said that you started, with Anne Halpern, that it is the pioneer of the postmodern dance, yeah, and she's a revolutionary, 100 years old, yeah. How do you see the integration between your training
of Anna Halpern or of Silvestri and the work of Anna Halpern? Which one are you referring to?
I'm referring to both. How you integrate.
That's a big one.
Because you were the.
Okay, I'll share a story actually that comes to mind. When I first started working with Anna, she the movement was so subtle for me because I had only been exposed to more classical technique and choreography, and she would have us go so slow and listen so deeply, and for me it was almost like I couldn't feel my body. I couldn't sense that subtlety of movement. And I was invited into her performance lab, and one day we were warming up as a group, and there was a performance group from France that was watching us, of professional dancers, and we were all on the floor, her lab, warming up our bodies, entering our bodies. And suddenly Anna screamed at the top of her lungs, "Christy, you're doing too much." As in I was moving my body too big and it wasn't real. It wasn't connected. And I just froze. And I didn't even know, how to move on, but I had to. Like, that was the task at hand. And it was this huge wake-up call in slow down, be true, listen and feel and move from that place. Because if we can't arrive there, then we can't find the greater connection with others.
Wow, this is so beautiful.
So that was like a huge lesson for me. That she taught me. And now when I think of Silvestri, I'm reminded of my first time in Salvador. And I was working with Vera Paso, one of the main Silvestri teachers. And she was teaching this choreography at the end. And it was wild and it was bold. And she's having us go again. And finally, I'm up against the wall and my hands on the wall, my head's down, and I'm panting like a dog. And all of a sudden, I have a little tap on my back and I hear her voice and she says, "Caristi," again. Like, do the dance choreography again in front of this whole group of people. And I'm, whatever, not so like courageous at that moment or confident, and I just muster up everything and I get inside of that center of the studio, and my body was trembling and I began to breathe and move it, even though I didn't think I had anything left inside of me. And I felt like something broke, like something exploded, and it was an inner strength and an inner capacity and expression that I didn't know I had. And
that was so beautiful.
To some, like, a completely different energy that invited go more, go deeper, go bigger. Go So that's like such a big contrast, and they both hold both of these qualities inside of, you know, their teachings. But that's something that I can share in this moment.
But it's amazing how, you know, it's almost like one complementary of the other. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not the opposite. It's not like you denying something from one to get to another. It's just like
we need both. We need the polarity.
yes, you need the polarity and you need the integration. And you know, it's very interesting because a lot of time I see when I'm watching the technique, sometimes I see more through the silence.
Mm.
You know, I see more through I think like, you know, through the bodies. The music, I think, is a great thing that brings so much, and you know, it's like sending us to another level. But I feel like when it's just the body, we speak much more. So, guys, Cassie and Christy. So on the February 2nd at 4 p.m. over here, the time in United States, yeah, in California. We're gonna be showing the film plus the silence auction. So, what do you expect for that day? What do you expect to people, you know, reaction, or well, we cannot expect a lot of people reaction, but what do you expect? What do you expect to that's gonna happen that day?
Well, that's a really good question, because I was talking to Christy prior to tell her that our audience for this event is so vast that it's not much of expectations of what people will really think about this kind of manifestation or kind of image and dance that we're presenting. But what I have to say is that the video has a lot of technical considerations and choices. That is aesthetic choices, and those aesthetic choices are like a Japanese philosophy called wabi-sabi, which incorporates everything that is unfinished. It's impermanent. It is the passage of things in a very, very subtle beauty in this dance between life and death, and that is wisdom. So I tried to bring to this expression when I was editing the video, and also including the music from Gian Dorselli, and watching what was there for me, because as I was not controlling Christine her movements or telling her what to do, I just told her, this is a challenge. Meet with this place, this tone, this shore, and this texture, and tell me the story about this wood. And when I watched that, I needed to hear that story and let it go of all the stories that I told myself or what I saw in that beach. So I want you guys to see what you want in the video and in the film. That will be a message for each of you. I just want to be very open for the slowness of this video. It's not action, action, action. It's a slowness that we really need right now in order to go beyond the liminal phase that we are of transformation of each of us.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing. Let me see if I can share over here. I'm not sure if I can. Yeah, I can share over here. Can you see this? The flyer for it?
I don't see it. No.
No, maybe sharing for everybody. But Fernanda, if we can share the flyer, so because this all will be online. Yeah. And the movie is only 12 minutes. Is that?
11 minutes. Yeah.
11 minutes. And also, but it has this beautiful piece, the you know, the necklace. I think that's gonna be mine, but it's okay. You guys can try it. People can try it, but I think it's gonna be mine. Such of connection, such of a beautiful connection with that piece. Is beautiful. I love it. So and now, guys, from now on, after, because this will be a big exposure, of your art, of your expression, of your active imagination, of who you are, a picture of who you are. What do what else? What else? What other plans? What are you going to be doing more about, this life experience that's so beautifully like being exposed to us?
I received. Well, I will keep doing this collection of necklaces. It's an entire collection, and every piece that I find, it tells me a story, and the story
Mm-hmm.
the necklaces, and it will be an ongoing thing until I think nature say like we don't need that one anymore. We need another one. So I'm gonna listen, and my work is to listening and to receive and to host the medicine and to share what I can with my dance, my hands, and the way I connect and I create the relationships between
That's
myself and
beautiful.
myself. Thank you so
So
much for
beautiful.
the opportunity. And thank you, Christy, for participating in this video. Just your dance. Every time when I edit the video, I cry. I was just like, I can't believe I'm editing that and crying all the time.
But what type of crying is that,
It's a
Cassia?
cry of joy. It's just like, this is so magnificent, beautiful.
That's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. And about you, Christy, do you you in Maine right now? So is the technique in Maine?
The technique is virtual at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like this is, just the beginning of getting back into movement and kind of creative performance pieces for me since having the baby, and I'm just feeling open to what is going to be next. I really don't know. I'm going to keep working in a Halperin's lab and want to, keep going with Silky, and yeah, we shall see. We shall see.
That's a beautiful thing. And I can hear the baby. I love the sound. That's so beautiful. No, don't mute. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. And sometimes we want to be so perfect and we want not to. And I think like one of the message for the technique for me is like you don't need to be perfect. You need to be connected. Yeah, you need to be. Yeah, it's not. And if you look at the piece, Cassia piece, there is no perfection over there, but there is that harmony. There is this thing like I want to wear it. Don't understand? I would say I want to have it. So it's not about like. That's a beautiful thing. So you said that the lab and Halprin still have labs.
Yes, we since last February have finally moved online with it. Up until then, we had met every week at her studio, which is actually where she lives in Marin County, just north of San Francisco. So it's just morphing. She's just getting to be a bit old now, and with the virus, it was natural.
A bit older with 100 years old. She's so young. She's very young.
I know. She's incredible.
Wow. So, but if people want to take on the Halprin technique, they just go to her studio website or?
Well, I don't believe she's currently teaching any classes now. She founded Tamalpa Institute with her daughter, Daria Halprin. Tamalpa Institute is a movement-based expressive arts therapy school that is also located right at Mountain Home Studio, where she lives. And they have exceptional workshops based in movement exploration, improvisation, but also incorporating the arts. So, drawing, voice and sound. And they are constantly offering incredible workshops. Dohee Lee is one of the teachers I really adore from there. Daria Halpern, if you ever get an opportunity, they're really masters at supporting people liberate, their creative expression in a very embodied way.
That's beautiful. And both of you just came straight from the last day of the intensive of the, Sylvester technique. How was that? And as Rosângela say, no one can see what is inside of the plant. It's so perfect that we only can feel. I think it's like only we can feel. Yeah, that's true. So, and how was that? How was that closure with the Sylvester technique?
Was that very emotional? As you know, it always extends more than we always can care, because it's so much gift that is being shared there. That is the container of time and space is always a challenge, I think, for everyone, eventually. I apologize for our delay.
No, it's not a problem.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. It's just like we had 3 groups. We have a beginners group, intermediate, and also people who is dancing for longer time. And it's beautiful to see that all the messages connected at the end, and we didn't know what each person was,
going through it. It's a process, yeah.
But
it's amazing. Right? Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. I know that, life is so busy all the time. We have to go, from one thing to other. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to get my piece on the February 2nd.
What is the first beat for everybody to get prepared?
Yeah, just say it.
So the first beat for the auction is $150. And the original price for this piece is $250 on the website. So hopefully we're going to get above and beyond, because we want to be generous with the Silvestri's home, because it's really $72,000 that is needed to be raised. So maybe somebody will love that piece so much that will offer $1,000. So we never know. It's valid. It values the $1,000. If it's in a museum, it will be probably $15,000 in the future. So think about that.
That's amazing. So for I really want to thank you, Christy. I know that you just jumped from the the technique to come over here with a baby and everything. Cassia, also with your work. So I see you guys on February 2nd. And I really, wish that people can feel it the same way that I feel, with, the presence of both of you, your arts, and also this beauty gift that you're giving to the humanity. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll see you guys on February 2nd. And guys, please like our page over here and follow us. And please, come with us on February 2nd, that it is Iemanjá Day. Yeah. We celebrate this energy. So thank Rosângela Silvestre for being here too. And everybody else. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.